Hello, everyone. Sorry about our
Hello.
tardiness. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for those who were early and already, leaving comments. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, John Smith. Thank you, Humble Girly, who already tuned in, and all of you who are on the live tonight. We truly appreciate you. As you guys are coming in, please comment and let us know where you are watching us from. So we saw Chattanooga. Is that how you say it? Chattanooga,
Yes,
Tennessee is in the
Tennessee.
house.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much for joining in, and just let us know where you are watching from. We see Dallas is in the house. We have Pennsylvania in the house. So let us know where you're watching from. And also just some housekeeping things. As you guys have questions, please don't think that we don't see your questions or that we're ignoring your questions, because as you guys are dropping questions, we are saving them and we will be circling back to them from the around the end of the live. And I see we have New York, North Carolina in the house, Delaware, Tennessee
Oh,
again, Mississippi,
Bloomfield, Connecticut. I used to live in CT. Shout out to CT.
Harlem in the house. Harlem people get money in the house,
Oh,
North
man.
Carolina.
Yes, I love Harlem. Having problems.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So just wanted to let you guys know again, as you guys are watching, as you guys have your questions, please drop them in the comment section. We will be coming back to them. Tonight's topic is 5 steps to get $10,000 to $50,000 in credit card limits, even with bad credit. So if you guys are excited for tonight's topic, please put a 1 in the chat as you come in, and share this live with anyone that you know needs to get their credit right. And I'm Diamond Chanel, and I'm going to pass it over to Sherry.
Yes, good evening, you guys, and we won't take up much of your time. So I want to give you 5 secret ways on how you can put these steps into place to get larger lines with even trouble or bad credit. So number one, as we always talk about, you do got to know your starting point, you guys. The key to this thing is looking at your current credit scores. So, one thing, if y'all don't know, I've been really working with people with the one on one coaching. So, some of the things that you guys need to know with your credit scores, even a lot of people that I'm experiencing, they're taking their credit score from their credit card company. So you might think your credit score could be lower than what it is on other bureaus. So if you're dealing with Capital One, they use CreditWise, that's going to be a TransUnion score, but you still have your Equifax and Experian. And so what's negative reporting on that particular credit report might not be reporting on others. Okay. So thank you, Rob G, for joining me. Thank you for always supporting the live. I appreciate it. So think about it like this, you guys. Um, you might, and I have seen big variations. If you're one of those people and you're trying to figure out why, say your credit score is a 680, but you might have another one that might be 675, but you might have one that's a 620 credit score. There's a big gap because there's something negative reporting on that one particular credit report. So you need to get your hands, you guys, on all 3. So that's step number 1. Know each individual score for each credit bureau. Please write that down. That's going to be key and that's going to be important. Number 2, know what your scores is and know what you need to adjust. So if you have, let's say, a 580 credit score, there's a reason why you have a 580 credit score. It's not that you're a bad person. It's not that it can be all you. It could be just some small adjustments that you need to make with your current credit score. Okay. So if you're one of those people, and I talk this now that I'm talking to a lot of people, I'm seeing this a lot. You might really have good credit and have a 580 credit score. If you're one of them people that say, I don't get why my credit score is not going up, I'm paying everything on time, It could be you just need to adjust some of your utilization. You'll be surprised. I had people with large credit lines, and just for some reason, just to just be organized, they're putting all their utilization on one particular card. And one person I sat down with, I'm like, this is your problem. They had a real large credit line, and it was just for their accountant. They don't want to pay different cards. They had a lot of their utilization on one card, and their card was about like $15,000. They paid something off. They had a repair in their home, a big repair. They had to throw on a roof, and they put it on this particular card, and it was about $10,000. But they had another card with like $18,000 on that card. They're just like, hey, for ease for me, I put everything on this card. But it really drove up that particular credit card utilization. And when you get one card too close to being maxed out, even though you have other open credit lines, it can really tank your credit score. So some of you guys might have a $300 credit line and you have smaller credit cards. You're not realizing you do not have a lot of credit card debt. Some of you guys that are just starting to rebuild and you seeing your score is low and you know you got some credit cards, it could be that you got a really good credit score. You're just utilizing that card and you're not paying it off before the card update and report to your credit report. You can be paying it after that date, but it's not late. It's not a late payment. It's just paying it past the due date. So I have been sitting down with people, and believe it or not, these people actually have, one person had a 715 credit score. They just really had to adjust some of their utilization. So number one, some of you guys, it might look like it's bad credit, but you don't really have bad credit. You really just need to make some adjustments. So the person that actually had that larger line, they also had a Discover card, end up calling Discover, and they was able to get a balance transfer for that particular card to remove just a portion of that utilization of that card to their Discover card. And they were able to get a 0% interest rate on that balance transfer for 24 months. So a lot of you guys really need to see, why is your credit score low? Like, really, why is my credit score low? It could be some just simple adjustments, especially if you guys, it's a lot of you like, I don't understand. I've been paying my credit card on time. It is not going up. I don't know why my stuff is not going up. Just Diamond dropped the link for if you want to do a consultation and we'll go through it. You'll be surprised, you guys. It was another client we sat down with. This person, and I have told you guys about this before, they couldn't understand why their credit score dropped. This particular person recently moved and bought furniture, and they got a Ashley's account. They didn't know that that card, it's a credit card account. They just thought, okay, Ashley is telling me I'm approved for this much. They got a $5,000 line. And of course, not knowing, you're just thinking, because back in the day, it used to be an installment loan. So if I'm approved for $5,000, they went and got like a $4,800 spend on that card. They got different furniture because they needed furniture for their place. And guess what? That maxed that card out, and they couldn't understand what happened to their credit score. They did not just understand. We sat down and I said, you just got furniture. Your problem is that, and the crazy part, their utilization was about 20%. So that's what they couldn't figure out. But what it was, they didn't know that now furniture accounts, they are not installment loans. They are revolving credit accounts. So Like I said, you guys, if you're one of them people that said, I pay on time, I don't get why my score is not, yeah, and I'm really tired. There's some people like, I'm tired of paying this stuff on time if my score is going to be low anyway. Don't give up. Please do not miss a payment, because you might just need to make some adjusting. I wish I knew that back in the day. And that was one of the problems. And somebody said, what is the difference? The difference, right? When an installment loan, it falls under your payment history only. So an installment loan, like those old furniture accounts, would be like your car payment, your car loan. It's a installment payment. But now with them putting on a credit card, that affects your utilization. Utilization is 30% of your credit score, the second largest chunk. That in payment history is 65% of your credit score. So if you throw all of that utilization on that credit card, it looks like you have a card maxed out. And it will, when I say tank your credit score, this person went from like a 725 credit score down to below a 620. And they're like, what in the heck happened here? They didn't have any late payments. They just didn't understand. And they had bought that furniture maybe a month and a half ago. So it didn't instantly, because it takes 30 days for a new credit card to show up and report. So they were not aware that's how that account worked. And they were another person. They had other lines that they just shifted that balance over, and their credit score is going to go up. So I had somebody, like I tell this story all the time, they had a 580 credit score, and we went through, I'm like, yo, you got really good credit. You never had a missed payment. They just had their credit cards too maxed out. And they didn't know that's how it worked. And they actually had the money, paid that off. They was at an 829 credit score. I kid you not. And this particular person is a business person. Like, they really running big business. So it's not that you're saying, oh, I'm unaware financially. You might not just understand those things about credit. So know your scores. Part number 2, just know why your score is low. Try to understand, well, just analyze your credit, why my score is low. Now, if your score is low, just look at if you have charge-offs or collections. See if they're hitting you late every month. Now, if they're hitting you late every month, it is to keep your score down. So some of you guys, if you have Experian, you might see under Experian, when you're looking at your credit reports, you could skip right up over this, because any charged off accounts or closed accounts, even if they're good closed accounts, you have to hit that drop down menu. And when you see that, you pull it down where it says other accounts, click there. See if anything says potentially negative. That's meaning something is hitting you every month. If you have a closed account and your payments is on time, or even if you have one late payment, but the rest of it is paid as agreed or even paid satisfactory, that is not really negative. Your top is paid as agreed, but you don't want to remove closed accounts with positive payment history. Leave those alone. That's fine. It's just an account that is charged off or collection, and they're hitting you, and you'll see a C, a CO. If they're hitting you late every month, is to keep your score down. The reason why you need to look at all 3 credit reports, because you might have Experian reporting you late every month, but it ain't doing that on TransUnion. So your TransUnion score could be much higher, or your Equifax score might be much higher. You'll be surprised, y'all, how many credit scores I'm looking at. And you're going to have some items that might not be reporting on the other credit bureaus. It might be reporting on 2, But this third one is not reporting on. So that's why you want to go ahead and try to find out which bureau is your best bureau. You'll see this. You might have a collection, a medical collection on one particular credit bureau, but it might not be on another one reporting. Believe it or not all collection companies might have access to report to every bureau. So you might have some variation. Work with your best, work with your best, your strongest, and your cleanest report. And if you have that going on, you always want to dispute. Even if you're looking for current credit lines, always dispute, because one dispute by next month, your situation could be totally different by disputing. If your charge off come off, you might go from being at a 640 credit score to a 690 credit score or a 680. Now you're in good credit range, and that can open up your options with top tier or more top tier type of credit cards. Okay, so credit cards come in tiers. So now once you identify these bureaus, which one is your strongest and your highest score, thirdly, you want to look for banks that pull exclusively from that bureau. Okay, so that takes some research. Now, if you're trying to get larger lines, you say Experian. I have a couple of things on Experian, but TransUnion is one of my strongest scores. Then you want to look for banks that exclusively use Experian, that pulls only, not like Capital One that pull from all three bureaus. You don't want to go with a bank like that. And you want to make sure it's soft pull pre-approvals. Okay. So for instance, if you got your TransUnion is your strongest, the Walmart card will pull from TransUnion. Okay. The Apple credit card right now, they're about to be sold, but they're still pulling from TransUnion, and it pulls exclusively from there. So that's how you want to do it. Also, identifying soft pull pre-approvals, because they'll stop you from getting a bunch of hard inquiries. Understand, banks have different products. It's not that banks won't give you credit. That is not it. It's just certain products that the banks offer is for certain credit scores. So Capital One have a variety. So you might get that Quicksilver card. If it has an annual fee, the Quicksilver card, that's a credit builder card. Okay. But if you have something like the Capital One Venture card, that's more for premium credit, top tier. So if you're in the rebuilding stage, that you got a 580 credit score, you don't want to go for the Venture card. Okay. Even if you already got approved for the Quicksilver, you might think, hey, I can go over there. No, they have a pre-approval tool. Use that. Anybody that has a pre-approval tool, use it. If you got a 620 credit score, American Express right now does not cater to you. Okay, so you need to know that. That's not saying it's forever. We're just saying right now. Now, the key is if you can get approved with that TransUnion, then you get that line of credit. It's going to report to all three. And this one credit report, this one credit bureau that you're getting approved, by you getting approved and you under that 700 credit score, you'll see an increase of 50 points on average, as long as no new negative item is hitting you. And by using that one bureau, it can help your credit scores improve across the board when that report. So you'll be using that leverage. I always suggest you can use that strategy to get you up to a 700 credit score. But if you have items you need to dispute, you want to do both at the same time, because I promise you, if you can clean up some of that negative stuff or something fall off, your options can get better and better. So that's the strategy that you want to use. Find banks. And if you are really going for larger credit limits, you want to make sure you're looking for particular cards. And we're going to get to that. Now, this is one I want you guys to use this strategy. We're at number 4. Now, this is one of these top secret strategies. If you're trying to rebuild or you're looking, saying, hey, I got to get my credit score up. I need particular credit cards, but I want those credit cards, those companies, or the products that that company have to pursue me, to offer me. Remember, banks need you, you guys. Don't think banks won't be in business. There are companies that are subprime. Just deal with, like, Credit One Bank is a subprime. First Premier, Michelin Bank. There's banks that kind of cater to subprime. So don't think, oh, I can't get no credit. It's just where you're going at that moment in time. That's it. This is a moment in time. At this moment in time, if you're rebuilding. But at the same time, going back to the Capital One, they do have the venture card that is for higher credit scores. So they have the Quicksilver card is like a rebuilding card, but they have the venture card, which is their higher echelon types of cards. So you can get the banks pursuing you because they buy information, because banks need you. Banks primarily make most of their money off of interest. That's their only bag, and some annual fees. But that's how banks make money. So they need you. So they are looking for you. And this is where the credit bureaus make their money. They're not bureaus, they're just simple corporations, and they're selling your information, your data. That's why they don't want to remove that negative stuff off your credit report. Don't let the banks fool you. Oh, they like when you got bad credit, because they can give you a smaller credit line and charge you really high interest rates, a $300 credit line, and charge you darn near 39.99% interest, like almost 40% interest, because they can justify that, oh, you have trouble credit, so we can't. So they love that. They really don't like when you have good credit. Number one, they got a lot of competition for your business, and they can't charge you high interest rates like they want to, because you're a justified. They can't justify your good risk. So this is why the bureaus are so resistant, because for bad credit, believe it or not, profiles that they sell, they get paid more money. They do not get paid good prime money for people with good credit scores, because it's not as profitable to the banks. Believe it or not. That's why they're invested to keep the negative items on your credit report. And that's mind-blowing. But this is why this explains. You never met a person that said, oh, the credit bureaus by mistake gave me an 800 credit score. Never happened. But you'll find mad people that tell you they got misinformation, wrong information. Oh, they do that a lot of times on purpose. They're trying to make your score. They're trying to make your score bad if they can, because then they can justify and sell your profiles for more. So to get banks to come looking for you, instead of going to the site where it says opt out pre-screen, you can just look up that website, opt out pre-screen. You want to opt in. Believe it or not, a lot of disputing companies or credit repair companies tell you no, opt out. That's because they don't want you just applying for credit. But you want to opt in, because then they'll start sending you, because they're selling your information. You'll see banks start sending you offers for credit cards. And this is how you know it's working. And it's more of a pre-approval. Look at the bottom of it. If it says TransUnion or Experian, a lot of times they'll say TransUnion pre-screen, Experian Pre-screen, you know that you have that opt-in in is working and the banks is buying your information and you're the type of customer they're looking for this product. So that's a real good tip for you guys. Secret number 4, you want to opt in, opt out, pre-screen, and factor trust. Okay. If you guys need a video, I have one on my backup channel. And on Tuesday, we'll be back talking about credit building. I have a video on how you can do that. Okay. And it'll show you how to go there. Remember, with factor trust, you guys, make sure you use the same email. Okay. I said that in that video. It is imperative. Use the same email. Do yourself a favor. Once you put it in, screenshot your information, such as your email, because when you go to different sites, that email, that's how you can get that pop-up, especially if you're doing the shopping cart trick. A lot of time it's going to be triggered by the email that you registered with that site, or you won't get the pop-up. And you want to keep everything consistent, your address and your email. Now, some of y'all, if you want to see already, I have the video on that shopping cart trick, because that can get you approval. Sometimes, even with Community Bank, they're going to pull from TransUnion. A lot of times you could get some of those cards, like the Victoria's Secret card is a really easy pop-up to get. Okay. And sometimes if you get that pop-up that you're approved, you can go ahead and get that card. A lot of people report without a hard inquiry, but that's not guaranteed. But they are going to pull from TransUnion. So if you want to see if you can go and lock that, now that you got the pop-up, leave that pop-up, go to your TransUnion and try to lock it and see if you can get that card without a hard inquiry. You can try that to do so. Now, the 5th and final step, you're going to look, if you're looking for larger lines of credit with bad credit or trouble credit, because you want to get larger approvals, look for furniture accounts and merchant accounts. So store cards, retail cards, you don't want to get a ton of them, but a lot of time those store cards is easier approval because they want to sell merchandise. And so as I tell you guys, banks primarily trust only other banks. They don't believe you. They only believe you as far as the last bank believes you. So if you're a person with a $300 credit card and you like, I can't really get larger lines of credit, it's like the most I got was a $500 credit card. That's because they see you don't have any history of trust with other banks. So how can I leapfrog up? Because one thing banks know, it takes years to grow those credit lines. You only generally apply for an increase in your credit line every 6 months. And it's not guaranteed when you apply, the bank is going to say yes. So a seasoned credit report, especially if one day down the line, if you want business credit and you want to if you want a PG or personally guaranteed to get business credit lines, they want to see that you already have at least a $5,000 credit card and up. So how do I get that without taking years? Going to these furniture store accounts like Ashley, another one, Synchrony, Home. These might, another one, Rooms to Go. These might be closed loop cards, or even Care Credit is another one. They can give you larger lines to report. And once that report, if you get approved for that larger line, then you can go to a bank, let's say like Capital One or other banks. So, like I said, you want to look at your credit report, that banks that pull from that highest score, and understand we want the right product according to our current credit score. So right now, if I'm sitting at a 640 credit score and I add that account on from, let's say, Care Credit, once that show up, now I might be 40 to 50 points higher. So I'm no longer at a 640. I could be over 680 to 690 because now that's showing up and it's going to increase my credit score. But we still want to make sure we're meeting the underwriting standards of that particular bank. So if you still got a collection, I would not suggest going to Chase because they want your credit clean. But I might can mosey on over to Capital One and get approved for a larger line. Discover, they don't like if you they gonna pull from trans. No, they're gonna pull from Experian. They want you totally clean. But one thing about Discover, if they're giving you an approval, a pre-approval, pretty much that's a go. But if you have collections, they really are not, you're not going to get that pop-up. So there's certain places that you can go that they pull, and Discover is one of them, pull exclusively from Experian. Then if you don't have a collection, a no negative item, that can be an approval, especially if you're over 670. That's a place where you can go and you might get a larger line. They can increase you, and that's a mid-tier card and a solid card until I get everything off. Places like American Express, they're gonna pull if you just coming in. TransUnion and Experian, you don't stop them, they're gonna hit you. If you try to lock it, child, you're going to end up with 3, maybe to 4 hard inquiries because they're going to check both of them. Now, if you're clear on Experian, you don't have no negative items, Chase is an option, and they'll only pull, generally, I always see them pull Experian. They can pull other places in different regions, but Experian. But that's how the strategy, those 5 secrets that you can use to get larger lines of credit, even with bad credit. So you might have negative credit, but not all of your credit reports could be negative. You could have just particularly one credit score, or maybe even 2, but one credit score that is clean. You can see large variations, I'll be honest, in credit scores. So you want to look at your credit scores. I beg you, go through it. Your situation might not be that bad. You might need to do some adjusting. And if you need my help, we can sit down and go through it. And if you're already part of the elite credit system, make sure you guys either email me, or if you need the consulting, you guys, it's highly discounted for you. Diamond, I'll have you to come up and we're going to answer some questions. You guys, if you have some questions about those 5 steps that I listed out, those 5 secrets, please let me know, because I want to know, was I clear on the explanation? And if you have some question about certain steps, please let me know.
If you guys have any questions, or if you guys are enjoying those 5 steps and you learned something new, please drop a 1 in the chat as we go on and answer some questions.
And let me know, have you guys ever heard of opting in order to get more approvals coming to you? Because that's a little hack you can do to opt in. A lot of people will tell you opt out while you're disputing and freeze everything. No, you guys need to opt in. Okay, don't do that. I don't even say freeze Sage Stream or LexisNexis. You don't hear me saying that a lot, because some approvals, you got to be careful. You want to. And let me add another caveat. Please, you guys, if you're doing these steps to find credit, make sure your scores your credit reports is not locked. You will not get those soft pull pre-approval pop-ups if your bureaus are locked. You'll say, nobody is approving me. I can never get pre qualified because you have that credit report locked. So make sure, especially with some of them I named with TransUnion, you have to initially unlock it so you can get the pop ups. All right.
Yeah, there's been a few people saying that they never heard of the opt-in option. So that was something new that they learned. And also, I want to give a shout out to any of our first-time watchers here. So we have
Thank you.
Raymond from New York. Thank you so much for joining in. And we're going to circle to some of the questions that you all had. So John Smith said, I have been sued by a collection, LVNV funding. I know I don't owe a collection. How do I deal with this?
Now, one thing you should do, as we always say, you want to talk to an attorney immediately. The reason why, because even if you talk to an attorney, if they're not an attorney in your state, they do not, number one, know what the statutory law is in statutory laws in your state. Even like it could be a statute of limitation for that type of debt. So I will look into that, talk to an attorney, and court rules. So the court, just like basketball, if I run down the court and we're playing a basketball game and I carry the ball and run and get to the line and shoot it and say, I made it, and like, yeah, I put that on the board. No, because I violated the rules. I needed to dribble. So the court, your local court, have particular rules that you must abide by the court, even if you are absolutely innocent. If you don't follow those steps, you won't get the points, or you might even get a judgment if you're not careful. So talk to an attorney. Things I have done in the past, I am not an attorney. So this does not constitute legal advice telling you what I have done in the past with LVMV. It's been some time, so I countersue them. Okay, I countersue them, name board members, snatch up some names of some customer representatives, and I countersue their company and those board members and some of their customer service reps, first and last name, for defamation of character. I never got a service, a Uber ride. I never got a loan from you. So how do I owe you? So let me tell you how you're lying on me. Because now I go and apply for credit. I went for an apartment and they saying I owe you money and I got denied. And that's defaming my character. That the word is credit worthiness, because that attached to my character on whether or not I pay my debts. So I'm going to countersue you. So if you're saying I owe you 1,000, oh, I'm countersuing you for 1,100. Okay, so you're going to have more to lose than me, and that's called leverage. And now you can force them to negotiate, because if they're LLC, many times in many states, they got to have an attorney to represent them. And when you name individual people, it's a conflict of interest to have the attorney in many states to represent all of them. You have to get other attorneys. And if you're in a whole nother state, LVMV is in either that North Carolina, they're also their company, their parent company is Resurgent. I believe they're in South Carolina. So if I'm in New Jersey and I'm suing those people, y'all gonna have to come to court in New Jersey. You're gonna have to fly them folks up in here. And that's a whole lot of money, because that's how I did them. So they'll wait it to the day before. And I told you to cut me my bread. Y'all remember me? Cut me my bread. I love when they do that. That's just me. I'm not saying that's for you, because I know the laws in my state. And they ran me a check. They ran me my check and dropped the case and give me my montees for me to drop this, because them getting an attorney in there is more than this $300 that y'all trying to sue me for. And I'm going to sue you for more. And remember, when you countersue, If it comes out to be true, which it could, a real strong chance, because they're third party. That where's the chain of title? Who said they sell them desks all the time? Y'all go into Walmart. That seat rechecker person at the door could see you sitting there scanning, giving the people money, get the receipt. They gonna check you at the door because it looked like you bought something or you stopped at that register. Don't mean that you legally bought it. So they're gonna check you. Same thing with them because they bought something. Don't mean who you bought it from had a legal right to sell it. That's like if you buy some jewelry off the street from your local crackhead, if they got it out of somebody's house, like Debo was going through the window and getting the chain, if you buy that and the police stop you, you bought illegal jewelry. You had a loss. Same thing with them. So you have to make them prove they had a legal right to even sell that debt. Because the debt, I can't just come to your house, show you your light bill and say, hey, pay me this light bill. You owe me. You'll call the cops on me. How do I owe you my light bill money? That bill is in the light bill company name, not in your name. I don't even know you. Same thing with them. So countersue. That's what I do. But I will tell you, the attorney going to tell you, do you owe it? Because if so, you need to pay them. Always remember, I'll give you a warning. It is, look up the law contracts. What I'm telling y'all is true, but attorneys would far prefer for you to pay them a retainer of $2,000 so they can make a phone call and make you pay, if it's a debt of $10,000, $3,000. Oh, I got them to pay you $3,000 when they bought this pennies on the dime and paid them a $2,000 attorney deposit. Didn't I do a good job for you? Didn't I do a good? I cut this up. No, you didn't. You ain't litigate nothing. So sometimes you can go down there and reply to your own, file the paperwork, and you might sometimes, if you put it in yourself, then find an attorney and tell them, hey, I already started the litigation. It's already court, and they might be more willing to take it. That's it.
I wanted to address. Thank you,
Thank you,
Ms.
Murphy. We appreciate you always support. Thank you so much, The Live. We really blessings to you.
Thank
We really
you.
appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. I see a comment from Gerald. I just want to address. He's an elite member. He was saying that he was having some problems pulling up his Experian report. If anytime you guys are elite members and you have an issue, please do email us at our support email. It says support@elitecreditsystem.com, or you can email us at howtoboostyourcredit.com.
Okay.
If there's a back and forth between us and Smart Credit, we will definitely move your case up to a higher technical level.
Yes, please can you email us now and we'll forward it to the supervisor with that. So we'll forward it to the supervisor.
To our tech team with that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we definitely want to get that figured out for you immediately. So please do email us. I tried to look you up while we were here, but if you can give me the email that you sign up with the Elite Credit System with, so we can help you with that.
And your first and last name in that email, please.
And your first and last name. Rosemary asks, how can a company sue you for a secured card when it's your money that you put on it in the first place?
If it was a balance, they can claim that you went past the interest, or you might have an annual fee with that card that renewed. So that could be it. So just read the terms. And I saw a question up there. Someone said, could they opt in if you already got other credit cards? Yes, you can still opt in if you have already gotten other credit cards. Yes, you can still opt in.
Someone also asked, Sophie Davis said, where do you go to opt in?
And you can go to opt out pre-screen, and you want to opt in and Factor Trust And I believe Diamond dropped the link to the video where I show you step by step how to opt in those websites if you guys want to check that out.
Is that the 4 credit cards video? Just want to make.
It's the one here. I'm going to let me pull it up and I'll send it to you right now. No, I think it was the older one here. I'll send it to you, but it's on my backup channel. So we'll drop that for you guys. I'll pin it also when we end the live in the comment section. I'll make sure, and I'm going to get it to Diamond right now.
Yes. Okay. And thank you, Humble Girly, for the $5 super chat.
Thank you, Humble Girly. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes,
we really appreciate that support. We know you don't have to. We just I believe you guys just that lets us know that you guys are getting the information, and we're so glad to release it. Mm-hmm. And I really hope that this information really helps someone.
Ms. Murphy said, I pray you enjoyed your 21st birthday, my dear sister.
You know I did. It was my 19th birthday. 19. My Juneteenth.
She said, we all appreciate you always. You always keep us on track.
So much. That was so cute. Yeah.
She said, you always keep us on track with financial literacy and building up your credit equity, you and Sister D. So thank you. Thank you
so much. We appreciate you. We really do.
Going on to the next question, we have Frankie. And Frankie said, hi, we're from California. So I definitely, my next move is to open an LLC. I got my EIN number, but I still have to repair my not so perfect credit. Also, thank you for your channel.
Well, Frankie, let us know too, if you already are in business and you're generating income, there are companies, depending on how much money, especially if you generating over at the bottom number is $2,500 a month. Fair Figure is one. And they have other companies that will look at your income and not so much your credit. Now, if you want to, and those are fintech companies, and there are some private investors that is in the private credit sector. So there are options. But if you're going to banks like Chase and things like that, yes, you want to clean up your personal credit. And if you need help, we can do that. But that's what you still have options, even if you have trouble credit. If you guys are making the income, there's companies out there on deck. There's a number of companies that'll look, even PayPal always hitting us up like, hey, you can get this. They'll look at your sales and your cash flow and give you a loan without looking at your particular credit score. Another one too for you guys, if you're doing Uber, Lyft, or if you are a hairdresser, independent contractor, Fundo is one, in Giggle Finance. They'll look at you, and you don't have to even have a business bank account. Those are some options that they will give you a loan, and those don't report to your personal credit report. And those are business things. So hopefully that helps somebody.
Shout out to Gwen. Thank you so much for the super chat. We really do appreciate all of you. Thank you.
That's Gwenda, I believe.
Gwenda, I'm sorry, Gwenda. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Shout out to you. Thank you. We appreciate everyone.
Appreciate it.
A quick question from Marilyn that asks, is the EIN used for an LLC the same one you can use for a family trust, or does it have to be different?
I'm not sure. Talk to an attorney on that, because a family trust, I'm not sure if that's, I'll be honest, I heard of a family trust. No, trust laws are different from state to state. So you want to talk to an attorney in your particular state, because a revocable, irrevocable trust, I do know a family trust is different, but each state have different laws. And when I used to do estate planning with insurance being an insurance sale, certain states have look backs. And like Florida is probably going to be a little tougher for people because people that get put in long-term care facilities, or then it might be, I know in Connecticut up there was used to be, or Jersey, a 5-year look back, and sometime or a 2-year look back. So even if you create that trust and put assets there, if you go into a senior home and if it is a 5-year look back and this 4 years, they can still get at your stuff. So you want to talk to an attorney in your state to find out the ins and out of that, because it's going to be state by state, to my understanding. Or maybe an accountant too can tell you that.
Rosie chimed in and said that you for sure want separate EINs from your trust and your LLC. So thank you, Rosie, for that input and that feedback. Going on to the other question that we had here. Someone said, Wells Fargo collection is the only collection that's affecting me so badly. Do you have any suggestions or any personal experience with Wells Fargo collection?
Is it a collection or a charge off? Because if still under Wells Fargo, you got options. You can dispute it. That's the first way. That's the or you can negotiate it. I'll be careful what I say online. If it's with a collection company, I wouldn't, but I would dispute it. That's what I would do. You'll be surprised what can come off by disputing it. Just make sure you want to get your old addresses off, any aliases, and just clean up things on your credit report. It does make it easier.
So Rosie had a 2-part comment that is a question. I had a car for almost 3 years, had only 5 payments left, but they repoed my car. No late payments was ever reported until this month. It hasn't been 21 days yet, and they never sent me a notice. Should I let the car go and dispute the repo, or just pay the 5 months payment on it?
It's only 5 months left.
Let me see. I had a car for almost 3 years, had only 5 payments left, but they repoed my car. So I guess the question is, should I just let the car go and dispute the repo, or should I continue to make those payments that are left?
I mean, depends on, I can't say your financial situation. To me, in my mind, probably paying the 5 payments to get the car. And then if you want to resell it, the debt, you'll get the title if you only got 5 payments left. That's what, like 5 months? If you, depending on the shape of the vehicle, you can judge that for yourself. But I mean, if the vehicle is in pretty decent condition, I would pay. You only got like 5 payments, and I'll get the car. It'll be paid off. That's just I don't know. You have to give me more details. If the engine is gone or something major you need to repair, maybe for the value. So you need to look at the Kelly Blue Book, probably valuation of the car, and find out, is it worth it?
Quick shout out to Frankie. Frankie said, wow, thanks. I love PayPal and I do a little bit of Uber as well.
Congratulations.
And Frankie also asked, do you guys help take things off of your credit report as well?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So you can either join the Elite Credit, or if you want to go over it one-on-one to do the consultation with that. Because some of you guys just have to make some adjustments to your credit report. So if you want to sit down with me and go over it, Diamond, we have a code, right, for a discount code for now. Elite members, you guys, please email us. You get a highly discounted special code. But for those, like even tonight, we have a discount code, so you can enter that in.
Also, guys, if you are interested in a personal one-on-one, I want to let you know that we do have limited spots during the week. So I'm going to drop the link for the personal one-on-one coaching. So if you guys are interested in that, we do have a heavily discounted code for this week. And if you use the code LIVE at checkout, you will be able to obtain that discount. That's for people that are not in the Elite Credit System. If
Yeah.
you are in the elite credit system, please just tell us beforehand that you want a one-on-one, because we have a major discount for you all who are in the elite credit system. So I'm going to put those links in the comments section below as we roll over to our next question. So the next question comes from Humble Girly, who said, I get a lot of offers from those subprime cards. Thanks to the info from your channel, I know better and I ignore them.
That's wonderful. And Humble Girly, if you want to, if you're just building, also join me, you guys, on Tuesday if you want to build up. If you have some negative items on your credit report, start disputing those items if that's why your score down. But it could be, like I said earlier, make sure you guys look at your utilization on your credit cards. Make sure you adjust those things, because you might can see your score go up in the next 30 days, or even in a couple of day window, 4-day window, depending on when your card update. So, but if you want to get out of those subprimes, that's what we'll be talking about. And if you guys sit down with me, we'll go through your credit reports and I can give you a list. Those, if you're doing a one-on-one coaching, or if you're in the elite credit system, let me know. Send you a list on cards with soft pull pre-approvals best for your particular credit scores. Okay. Now I can't do that if you're not a part of the elite credit system, because I can't see it. But those that sit down with me and you're new, send me, you guys through the information have to send me over your credit reports and I can go through them and then I can see your best option.
John Smith said, thank you for the advice on the LVNV funding. I just don't know if I have the funds to file a lawsuit. I will look into it. What about doing arbitration?
If they file a lawsuit against you, usually it's free to respond. So find out if it's any fees. Sometimes if you naming people, depending on your state, if you're adding a countersuit, they might charge you each fee. But to respond to a lawsuit, it's general. You don't pay no fees to respond. Yeah. So just check, because you're responding to the lawsuit. The moving party or the plaintiff is the one that already paid the fees.
Miss Flint said, is it worth disputing when I know that I owe it? I just can't afford to pay these negative accounts off.
Yeah, if you can't afford to pay them off, yeah. Heck yeah. You can afford to pay them accounts off. Sit on that dough. You better look at Mr. King. We got some more. We got some folks, they saying it's some folks getting some stuff off 2 months. There are people getting off bankruptcies across the board with something. I'm like, yo, I'm looking at stuff myself. Like, right? And now I'm not saying I advocate for bank, but I'm just saying, you don't know. You don't know. That man 2 months clean stuff off and got a $14,000 credit card. If that don't put the battery in your rack.
Just to be clear for people that don't know, Mr. King is a one-on-one client and an elite member who was able to have 150-point credit score increase, have things wiped off, and get approved for a $14,000 credit line within the span of 2 to 3 months of working with the elite credit system and doing the one-on-one coaching. Just to put that out there.
He was in like 480 and then up to 700.
Yep.
It sound like it sound like me just listen. Here's one thing that take common sense. If you do nothing, things going to stay the same. That's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. I mean, it don't hurt for trying. What you got everything to gain and really not much to lose. So just think about it like that.
Yes. Frankie, yes, you can become an elite member 100%. So I'm going to drop that here in the comment section, if you just type in theelitecredit.com, you can become an elite member, see some of our testimonials that are on our website there, and join as a member. Going on to a few of the other comments that we did have, someone said, if you don't mind asking, what's your take on CDs and on what banks would you say are ideal?
Diamond, I'll turn this over to you because you enjoyed. She told me about the American Express. I know Capital One was supposed to be a good one, but Capital One actually had just got a lawsuit because they was pushing people in the wrong CD. But what give him your advice because you put me up on well, Capital One, they have a they got a high yield interest account. CDs, you can get also talk to the banks. Different banks have what's called a deferred annuity. And yeah, you can check even with your bank that you're doing business with. I don't know the details of individual banks, but I would check with my people credit union, and you can go to their websites and see who have the highest CD rate. It's some of them sending me some emails that they have, but you also want your trust and where you're paying your money to. So I don't really have a suggestion, but CDs are good. And also a deferred annuity with some banks. I know my father did one with Wells Fargo, but I think his for a particular time. I think he did it almost like some life insurance. I don't want to put his business out on the street, but he put a large sum down of his money. You can also do money marketing accounts. There's different ways, but CDs are good if you have the money to invest. But I'll check with my local banks, find out, and that might make your banking relationship even better. That's the good thing about doing it with your bank.
Yeah.
Then sometimes that puts you your status higher with that bank. If you have products like that, I do know Navy Federal have different ones, but there's different people with a lot of credit unions with different products too. Diamond, do you know of any CDs?
So when it comes to CDs, I have more experience when it comes to high yield savings accounts rather than CDs or investing into the stock market or investing more so in that realm. And I would highly suggest that people do start putting their money into high yield savings accounts because versus having your money sit in a regular bank account where you're not actually getting interest on your money. Matter of fact, you're losing money as money, goes up and down and inflation happens. So I do highly suggest that. And I do suggest most banks probably do have high yield savings. I know I have Chase. I have a high yield savings account with Chase, and I think their APY is 4.5%, which is a pretty high one. And I think that the highest ones are going to be a 5% that I've seen with Vero Bank, and some of the smaller, maybe less known banks. There's like Fitness Bank, things like that. But I would say go with the bank that you already have a relationship with, and it probably strengthen your relationship with those banks. And that's definitely something that I suggest, even if you're putting $50, $100, something small, and just allow it to accumulate every month.
Now, one thing you did say with American Express that was interesting, and I think that's something American Express did not have Zelle with those high, you were saying, so where Chase would. So that's another thing, you guys, like if you use those high interest savings account, can you get that money out to another account if you need to shift it as fast as possible? I know even with Navy Federal, with their Zelle, it could be little.
They take a long time.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, So you want to consider that. I love Navy Fed. Don't get me wrong, but that's why we're saying. But it can strengthen your relationship with CDs with, that makes you a top, more of a top client, especially if you're putting some money in there. So thank you for that question, because people do need to find different ways to not just have their money sitting still and try to make their money to get their money to work for them. So thank you
Yep.
for that question.
Yep. Thank you for that. So
And
we
should we go back to having some of our people
have
just for what I don't know if you last year if y'all was for around, we had some of our investment guys, Ricardo. And
oh yes, yes,
oh God, I love
yes.
oh y'all should go back and see it.
Oh, if you guys are interested in investing,
Yes.
for sure, we have a colleague. His name is Ricardo. Ricardo Hamilton, and also Chris, from Financial Sorry, Chris from Financiation, and I'm gonna drop like he's really, 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 really good with all of that investment stuff, and he definitely he sets up consultations where he can look at how much money you have, how much money you should be putting in different places depending on your goals and your family structure and everything else like that. So I'll definitely drop his information. I know he has a YouTube channel. I'll drop his information for you guys so that you could reach out to him if you're interested in investing. Like he's really good at that.
And we love, even with Ricardo, with them, they have two different views. So it was like awesome. Ricardo is really in the precious metals, which I love, like silver and gold. He's really into different nodes and investing in like oil subsidies and things like that. So they have two different perspectives. So it was like a fiery conversation that they had. It was awesome. But I love to hear two passionate people that really kind of have their own view of investing. So I like that, and maybe you guys would like to hear that. So we'll put that together too, just some investment ideas.
Yes. So then we have another question that said, what is the best way to get current credit cards to lower the interest rate on your card? Bass Pro Cap 1 or MC won't lower my interest rate, though I have more income and higher FICO score now.
Yeah, usually you call in and ask, but Bass Pro, they're probably because that's going to be that retail side. So I don't know who your current credit card companies is. Checking in with Discover. They might give you a balance transfer, or maybe you should apply for a balance transfer card like Wells Fargo. I think the Reflect card, Citi have some cards for balance transfer. I know Truist and Bank of America got one for 15 months cycle. So tap into, you guys always look into those cards, the relationships with the banks you have, see if they have PNC, have some, look for, and I think USA Bank, they have one. So just look at your current relationship and see if they have any balance transfer cards, but those are a couple off the top of my head.
Someone asked, how much is the elite credit system? So it is only $39.95 per month, but you guys can get the elite credit system. And if you're looking for personal one-on-one coaching and you're an elite member, it is heavily discounted. I think somewhere close to about 80% discount. So that's for everybody that's an elite member that wants to have a one-on-one and wants to join the elite credit system. I'll leave the link down below, but you can go to theelitecredit.com in order to sign up as well.
And just also remember with Smart Credit, just like it's going crazy now. Okay, with Smart Credit, just understand, even with the elite credit system, we use Smart Credit, and most of your price is going for the credit reports. Just keep in mind, if you guys have Experian, it's $29.99 per month for one credit bureau. So a lot of that is getting and accessing your own credit score. So the value for the extra dispute part is worth it. And they have some good tools at Smart Credit, like Score Boost. Oh, I absolutely love that. It tells you the best time to pay your credit cards and how much you could put down and how many points you can get. So that's an awesome tool. And My Loania, if you need a loan, they have some referrals on different loans according to your credit score and state. So those are great options.
Yes.
Well, Carmen, let's answer one more question and we're going to wrap it up for tonight. You know, my native is getting restless.
Gotcha. Actually, that was the last question that we have for the night. Besides, you guys, someone asked about a military discount, and that is definitely something that we would certainly consider if we had a military discount. But right now, we do have a general discount that is about 60%. So we always
and on the packages, if you email our personal packages, we're more flexible. But
yeah.
with some of the things with the elite credit system, like I said, with the credit reports, it's hard for us because it's just the cost of the reports is what it is. So ain't much working around it.
Yeah, but I think that was towards the personal 101. So just saying that we always do our best to try to make things affordable and be flexible and give off deals week by week. And yeah, so we do for right now for general admission. If you guys want to have a personal 101, it is 62% off. So just let you guys know that. That was the last of our questions for tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you guys can, if you found this live to be valuable, can you put a 2 in the chat for us? And also someone did ask if this replay will be available because they missed some of it. It is always available. We always have the live available. We always have the links in the description box if you guys end up missing some of this. But we just thank you guys so much for joining week by week. We thank you. A special shout out for everybody that gave a little extra, that gave a super chat, people that engaged. Thank you guys so much.
And thank you guys for being here. And just those that gave this week, awesomely want to thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you guys that show up, we thank you for your presence.
Thank you.
We hope you guys have a wonderful and safe week and enjoy your night, everyone. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Sunday.
Yes. See you guys again next time, same time next week. Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.